Hello, this is Jennifer Aline Graham, the blogger for the Speaking Out About Self-Injury blog. This video blog is dedicated to my brother, Matthew Graham, who passed away 5 years ago on October 14th, 2008. So 5 years ago, my brother passed away. I've spoken about this numerous times in my blogs because this guy's my hero. He was a writer. He was probably the funniest person I knew. He was the most honest and obnoxious person in the world, and I loved him for all of it. And 5 years ago was the day that I decided I would stop cutting. 5 years ago was the day I made my last intentional cut. I remember sitting in the bathtub crying. I couldn't believe, after 26 days after being diagnosed with cancer, my brother was gone. I'm sitting there realizing, he was the one I always called, I always talked to about my struggles with suicide and cutting and things like that. He was gone. And even today, I don't believe it, in reality, I know he's not coming back. But the point of this blog is for those who are struggling and trying to find a reason to stop, don't wait until a loved one is gone. Don't wait until an intense, crazy moment in your life happens. Make a choice and do it. Sadly, I used my brother's death to be the trigger to what made me stop cutting. And it's cool to know a date that 5 years ago I stopped cutting, but the thing is that it's also surrounded by a really negative and upsetting time in my life. So it kind of goes back and forth. I'm happy I stopped. I'm upset he's gone. However, my brother would be proud that I stopped, that I don't do that anymore. I don't use that as a coping skill. He knows that it's tough, that every day it's tough, that it's not an easy addiction to get over. And he knows that from when I talk to him. I just recently found a letter that I sent him in 2004 when I was 16, talking about when I had just been diagnosed with depression and had to go to counseling and was self-harming, and I mentioned it to him in that letter, and it brought me back to realizing, wow, I really trusted this guy, and now he's looking at me and trusting me to not go back and not self-harm, and I've been that way for 5 years. So I'm telling you guys, don't wait until something happens in your life to make you stop. I stopped because I knew it wasn't safe, I knew it wasn't worth it, and I need to focus on other things, not my arms. And my brother would be proud. It's been 5 years without a cut, without seeing my brother, but he's here. He knows that every day's a struggle, and he's probably pushing my boundaries. So he can keep on pushing those boundaries, and I will keep on pushing forward because 5 years is nothing. 5 years is nothing. So 5 years 1 day, 5 years 2 days, let's do it, okay? Stop. Stop self-harming, and don't wait for something to come around and force you to stop. Thank you for listening to my video blog today. For more info on me, check out my book Noon on Amazon.com, Nook and Kindle under Jennifer Aline. Thank you guys very much for listening, and have a great night.